In previous videos, I've done reviews on a number of Fender Telecaster guitars from the USA Professional Series to the beautifully crafted custom shop 1950s and 60s models. Today, I'm unboxing yet another Fender sold by Amazon, and that's been causing quite a stir. Hello viewer, my name's Stu. Please do check out the rest of my channel as it covers my return back to playing and recording guitar after a 40-year break. Now, I always like to say many thanks to those who take the time to subscribe, hit the bell, like, and comment below or message me privately. Now, it's always nice to converse with folks, and in actual fact, one particular viewer, Alan, and his wife Kristen, they came all the way from the USA to visit me here in Scotland, and we got to spend some time together whereby he brought over some of his favourite effects pedals for me to try out. And we had a great time, and they had a great time travelling around Scotland. Here's a pic of us both outside Guitar in Edinburgh, and that was a shop he had been looking forward to checking out. So don't hesitate to get in touch. It's always nice meeting and chatting with folks, especially from different countries. Okay, coming up, number one, the guitar and its specifications and my alterations, a couple of things to do to help out a budget guitar model. Number two, what it sounds like. Number three, points of interest. Number four, my likes and dislikes. And number five, conclusion, final remarks. So without further ado, number one, cover the dog's ears. The doorbell rang. And the delivery driver from Amazon, that well-known shopping giant, delivered a cardboard box. And for those interested in what you actually receive, here you can see the box, which is okay but definitely needs handled with care. Should be noted that there is a 2-year warranty that comes with the guitar if there was a problem. The guitar's inside a foam bag and the fretboard has a protective layer of paper. Now the guitar, as you can see, is a Telecaster model in a Dakota Red satin finish. At the time of this video there are two other colours available, Tone Sunburst and Black. Now, to save time, I've done a good check over of the guitar, and the only flaw found is a little nick or dent in the back body finish, which is almost impossible to see without looking really close, so I'm not bothered about that. Regarding specifications, what's it made of? Now, do bear in mind that this is a guitar that costs just over £100 or $100. The body is apparently made of poplar, and as you can see, by comparison with a standard USA built Telecaster, the body is a little bit thinner. However, the guitar still has a bit of weight to it. The Dakota Red is of a satin type finish and feels fairly hard wearing. Here you see the free 30-day membership to Fender Play sticker alongside the two pickups, which are of a ceramic single coil type. You have 6 individual saddles for adjusting each string, and they provide an Allen key for doing that. All the metalwork does appear to be chrome plated. Now, for most Telecaster lovers, you will notice that the strings are not through body mounting, but are top loaded. You see the strings going through the bridge plate here. Through body is often considered to have more sustain and other tonal qualities, but top loading is also popular with guitar players looking for a particular tone and feel. The volume and tone control knobs, typical looking 1960s style flat top with a knurled finish, and the 3-way selector is of the 50s period plastic barrel design. The neck, which is the typical 4-bolt attachment, is made of maple with a C-shaped profile, certainly easy handling for a beginner. The fretboard is L'Oreal. I'm not sure what material the frets are made of, but they are nicely finished off. Now the nut is some type of plastic material, but I'm not sure what that's made of. You get another Allen key to adjust the truss rod. The machine heads are of a sealed gear die cast type. The Squier logo is clearly seen on the front of the headstock, and on the reverse you have the Fender authentication stamp, Chinese manufacture. Now, to save time, I've already played this guitar through an amplifier. All the electrics work well, and it's actually pretty good to play straight out of the box, although the action is on the high side as you play further up the neck. For beginners, this particular guitar is ready to go, and playing cowboy style chords is certainly comfortable enough. To give this budget guitar a better crack of the whip, so to speak, I decided to make a few simple alterations. Removing the strings was the first job, and for those interested, you can see my review on the Ernie Ball Power Peg motorized winder. And since I have the strings off, I took the opportunity to remove the scratch plate and control board just to see what was going on under the hood. And as expected, for the money, all in all, it's well put together. Now, of course, it does use budget components and materials to get this Fender authorized guitar to this low price point. I had a Fender Pearl scratch plate spare, so I swapped it out to give the guitar a more traditional vintage look. You can get pattern part pickguards that don't cost that much if you wanted a different look. Easy to do on a Telecaster. Next up, checking the neck. It looks straight and it doesn't need any truss rod adjustment. I did find the finish slightly sticky, so I took some T-cut and polishing creams to help remove some of this. I did a video on that just recently if you want to check that out. While the frets are quite shiny, I gave them a further polish with a metal polish cream, and for the fretboard, I gave that a Fender lemon oil treatment, and then I restrung the guitar with a set of Ernie Ball custom 46 to 10 gauge strings, which are my preferred choice for a Telecaster. With the strings on, I gave some adjustments to the action, which was better than it was, but it could do with a bit more. However, I was getting string buzz that would require a bit further time to set up. Intonation was very good out of the box, and just 2 strings needed a very slight tweak after the string change. So number 2. How does it sound? Now, I'm going to be playing through the Blackstar Studio 10 6L6 combo amplifier, and you can see my review on that. And I'm using this instead of my Bad Cat Black Cat, which could make any guitar sound great, but comes at a much higher price tag, and you can also see a review on that. Now, the little Blackstar is moderately priced. It has pretty good clean tones, gentle overdrive tones, and the ability to dial up distortion if wanted. So I think this will be a good choice to test this Fender Debut Telecaster. And just a wee note for anyone watching that's new to electric guitar playing, while there are many good modelling units available at very reasonable prices, when it comes to amplifiers, a well-made amplifier married to the right high-quality speaker, it really does make a difference. Even a very costly guitar can sound lackluster through a poor backline. So, to demonstrate some tones, I'll first of all play some quick chords and single style notes clean with some reverb across 3 selectors positions. So neck pickup position 1. Middle position 2. Bridge position 3. And now adjusting the amplifier controls for a moderate overdrive tone with reverb. I'll demonstrate the pickup reaction where I pick the strings with restraint and then when played more forcibly. So neck pickup position 1. Middle position 2. Bridge position 3. So keeping the controls the same, I'll now demonstrate the addition of a TC Spark boost pedal to give it more edge, particularly because these are budget manufactured pickups. So neck pickup position 1. Middle position 2. Bridge position 3. And for those interested, you can take a look at my review on the TC Electronic Spark Boost pedal. So number 3, things I would personally mention that might be of interest. Well, this latest authorised Fender guitar, they come in both Telecaster and Stratocaster models, manufactured in China, is clearly part of the way forward, where traditional guitar giants, the like of Fender and Gibson, need to address the never-ending influx of budget guitars based on their iconic designs, and of course a never-ending problem of fake guitars flooding the marketplace. It's a bit of, if you can't beat them, join them scenario. Ultimately, for the buyer, ever more choices becoming available. So number 4, likes and dislikes. What do I like? I bought this guitar to review, as I do get asked about budget models, and specifically this latest debut series from Fender. From my perspective as a Telecaster player, let's take a little reality check here. Back in the day when I started out, would I have loved to have had something like this? Yes, absolutely. This guitar back in 1973 would have cost approximately just under £10 or under $10. In the early 1970s, the average Japanese copy most of us budding guitar players had at the time were somewhere between £55 and £65. You could get an electric guitar for around £15. They were dreadful, and simply anything under £50 or £60 just wasn't worth buying. This particular guitar, out of the box, it played pretty well, although the action did need lowered for playing higher up on the fretboard. I polished the neck down and replaced the strings with higher quality set to help the overall playing experience. I have to say it had little effect on the overall tone, just helped it to be a little bit nicer to play. Now, after playing for a wee while, I found tuning stability was very stable. So that's a really good point. So the neck is comfortable, as are the frets. Using a decent amplifier and pedals, you can put on a decent show with this, no problem. On top of that, 2 years warranty and a 30-day free Fender Play tuition. What's not to like? What do I dislike? I think it's hard to be overly critical considering the cost of the instrument. They are, of course, produced at a price point. Manufacturing has to be as efficient as possible, and while materials used need to be fit for purpose, they're not going to be of the highest material quality. For the price, there is nothing I think you could improve on this, otherwise it would just make it more expensive. The bridge saddle grub screws are a little loose fitting, not a big deal and nothing that can't be resolved. The strings are fine, but if you're already a guitar player, you will likely want to put your favourite strings on this. As long as the guitar is set up well, it's a great start for anyone, or indeed, if you're on a budget and wanting a Fender authorised instrument, as I say, if you had handed this to me as a youngster, I would have been really very happy. So number 5, conclusion, final thoughts. As always, no one paid me to mention any of the products shown. I bought this guitar. These are just my opinions. I think the more that you play the guitar, like any guitar, it will lose that new feel and become more comfortable. You could, of course, take a soft sanding block to the neck and sides of the fretboard to make the neck feel even smoother still. When it comes to buying guitars, the choices are overwhelming, and while that can bring confusion, it's also a nice position to be in. If I were starting out again and looking for a guitar, let's just say I had my heart set on a Telecaster and wanted something that was authenticated by Fender itself. Today's guitar players are spoiled for choice with prices that are just so much more affordable than yesteryear. My advice to someone starting out? Well, if you think the guitar will be an important venture for you, then I would try to chat with a guitar player for advice. And while this, brand new, is very good value for money, I would possibly look to purchase a second-hand guitar of a higher quality, something with better electrics, pickups. So if you will, take that $129 and buy a higher quality used guitar model instead. You might need to spend a little bit more, but you could purchase something that would have better quality, fixtures and fittings and other features. So that's just a thought. So speaking of this guitar, I will at a later point be giving it away to someone. So subscribe to the channel, like and comment, help me to get the channel numbers up, which could in turn help me review and give away other products. And for those of you who have a love for Telecasters, do check out my reviews on both American Professional and Custom Shop Relics. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and perhaps it's been helpful for some. Do comment below if you want to ask anything about this guitar. Do think about subscribing, hit the bell to get notifications, like and share. As always, it really helps the channel out. And do check out my channel playlist, which covers my journey back to playing and recording guitar after a 40-year break. Lots of equipment reviews as I seek out the gear that I would use in recording. So whether you're a newcomer, an ongoing player, or like me, an old hand returning to guitar playing, I always take time to engage with folks who take time to comment. So until next time, the journey continues. Do take care.